This is the download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, August 6th. First up, promoting podcasting's workers and open positions. Sounds Profitable's mission has always been to uplift the business of podcasting. Part of that is ensuring those looking for jobs can find them, and those looking to hire can find them. With that in mind, I'd like to take a quick moment to introduce our newer readers and listeners out there in podcast land, as well as remind longtime true believers of what Sounds Profitable has and what we can do. First up, of course, the Sounds Profitable job board, soundsprofitable.com/jobs. We plug the 5 latest positions submitted at the end of every download newsletter, but there are dozens more awaiting just beyond those top 5. It's free to submit new positions as an employer and get access to the application. No login, no payment, go nuts. In addition, I like to spotlight those in the industry occasionally with a series I call Co-working, which you can find with a link in the newsletter version going to our Thought Leadership archive. If you work in the business of podcasting and have recently been laid off, please consider submitting for inclusion with a link provided in the show notes, as I'm looking into doing a special co-working series about that. Moving on to the next top story, Spotify's Audiobooks Plus, tested in world markets, arrives in the United States. Hot off the tails of a recent marketing campaign pushing audiobooks using trendy music slang, Spotify's adding even more to their audiobook offering in the United States. The Audiobooks Plus add-on allows premium, family, and duo users to buy an additional 15 hours of audiobook listening on top of the 15 that came standard with premium. While the price varies based on market, as it's been demoed internationally first, the U.S. price for the recurring monthly add-on is $11.99 on top of the existing cost of premium. Next up, Theo interviews Arlen propane salesman. The Roost Podcast Network Vice President Catherine Brown has a new LinkedIn post discussing the 600th episode of This Past Weekend with Theo Von. In this special episode, one of Von's guests incorporated a branded segment to promote the new season of King of the Hill with Mike Judge. Except instead of interviewing Judge directly, Von interviewed Judge in character as series protagonist Hank Hill, with Hulu's animation team putting an animated Hill in the video podcast, including a shadow of Theo Von's mic arm across Hank's chest, which I found to be a nice realistic touch. As Brown notes in her post, this custom segment stands as an example of flexibility and creativity possible with podcast brand integrations. While animated characters have appeared in special segments of TV shows in the past, for example, the Oscars every couple years, Hulu chose a podcast as the delivery vehicle for this Hank Hill interview, and that's a testament to podcasting's growth and popularity. The latest edition of Sound Insights features coverage of Driving to Action, the third installment of data from the advertising landscape. Built from a survey of just over 5,000 respondents age 18 plus in the United States, Driving to Action focuses on podcast primes, a section of respondents who consume podcasts at a daily or near daily rate, who make up about 23% of the monthly podcast audience in the U.S. Primes are much more likely to take in and process information from podcast ads more effectively than the many other ad-supported platforms they engage with regularly. Podcast advertising delivers measurable business outcomes with the actionable parasocial relationships podcast hosts form with their audience. As for the rest of the news, the latest episode of How Stories Happen features our very own Tom Webster, and host Jay Acunzo has a post teasing that conversation. Variety has a new piece on Amazon's restructuring of Wondery, including an interview with executive Steve Boom. Media Bodies has a new guide breaking down key strategic considerations for mobile game influencer marketing and podcast ad campaigns. Fairing co-founder Matt Baer has dropped, quote, the closest thing you'll find to a no BS guide to attribution that actually works, end quote, after 3 months of effort by the Fairing team. Video sharing platform Rumble has signed a strategic partnership with Cumulus Media. Nielsen and WPP Media have announced a new audience measurement agreement that covers TV, streaming, audio, and cross-platform ad performance via Nielsen One. And Signal Hill Insight President Paul Riesmandel has a new piece on using brand lift to establish brand suitability. Be sure to check out the links to every article I've mentioned right in your podcast listening app with a handy-dandy link that takes you to today's episode on soundsprofitable.com. Or you can go there and check out the download section yourself, and you can subscribe to the newsletter version while you're there. The download is written and produced by myself, Brian Barletta, and Tom Webster. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow.